Hey guys, see I'm here, and there's Bill W. right there. He's stealing the show. But I want to talk a little bit about my theory or my my approach to knife collecting, and I say in air quotes collecting because there are different people that buy and consume knives. Yeah, yeah. You want to see something awesome? There you go, right there. Mm-mm-mm. So I'm in the process of turning over some of my accumulation, and what happens is I'm a carrier and user. I buy a knife that fits what my I require out of a knife, my specs. As far as blade length, blade to handle ratio, steel, blade thickness, grind, and lastly, would be maker. Well, I guess lastly would be price. But for a period of time, I was carrying this. This is a Busey Custom Shop, LE Boss Jack. So by Custom Shop, all you pigs know what that means. LE, limited edition, which means it's 3/16 thick, and it's a Custom Shop variant, which means this variant has a swedge and it's a recurve and a no choil. So this one I am selling on because I have scored something that I like a lot better, which is a Boosie Team Gemini Light Brigade in Infi. And that one is currently at Josh at Razor Edge getting a deeper, thinner hollow grind. Because currently he said he measured it at the thickness behind the edge was about 70 thousandths. And yeah, we just can't do with that. So he's doctoring that up for me. I am currently carrying this Steve Voorhees Mac V Sog buoy in quarter-inch thick, 5160, differentially hardened. Micarta handles. It's basically like a Sog fucked a Randall. This is the creation. So this is my this knife serves my knife owning and using needs. We have a large enough size where total length is about 12 and a half. Which the reason I like a large knife is because the way I carry it makes it California legal because my vest does not totally obscure the knife. So I fit within legally being a open carry fixed blade, which is the only legal way to carry in California. Plus, easy access. Now, why the size? Because the size allows me to carry it with enough handle protruding below my vest that it's visible. But I also prefer a dramatically larger blade to handle ratio. So brings you to the next knife. This Murray Carter, it is 12 inches long, maybe a half inch shorter than that Voorhees. But the blade to handle ratio is almost 1-to-1, meaning the sharpened length is as long as the unsharpened length, which it got to me after a while. After about 2 weeks of carrying it, it bugged the shit out of me, so I stopped carrying it, and I finally decided it had to go on to the next knife connoisseur that follows my feed and buys knives. So this will be going out today too, likely, along with that Boosie. The same guy's buying them. Put this guy back. This DDR Eat Me Dominator, which is a one-off custom, because of its size and the fact that I never carry it, maybe due to its size, because I have a extra large version of this being made by Daryl that should be done next year, but it never gets any carry. So part of it also is if it doesn't get carried, I cannot rationalize keeping something in my safe that is taking up money that could be spent better on something else. So owning this is costing me money. So the best way to alleviate that is to throw it out of the market. So this sold. I'm just waiting for the final installment of payment on that before I ship it. See, I live on a very limited income. I live off my VA service-connected disability benefits, which is enough to really just pay the bills. I scrimp and save everywhere else. um, except for on knives. Knives and machinery. Well, more knives than machinery, but I scrimp and save pretty much on everything to enjoy my hobby, which is knives and knife making. Um, my house, I was very blessed to receive a moderate inheritance, so I was able to put 50 grand down payment and buy a $218,000 house on a VA home loan. And a good portion of my machinery was also purchased through my inheritance. My car was gifted to me by my mom because she bought another car, and I had just recently got my license back after 6 years of hoofing it everywhere due to my first DUI, my only DUI. My watch, I purchased that out of the inheritance just to restore myself from my failed marriage. Whereas when I got into the relationship, I had a Rolex Sea Dweller, and that was sold during my marriage. So you get the idea. The knife making itself, pretty much it breaks even if you consider all the other costs involved in making a knife. I just recoup my losses because my passion really is just building them, and also the relationships that I build in the course of getting a knife built for somebody, and then their range reports and so on and stuff. I'm really going straying from my original intent of this video, but when I buy a knife, like say for an EDC fixed blade, I really only limit myself to about 3 to 4 dedicated EDC fixed blades, and I rotate those. But if I find something that does the job better of what I currently have, I buy it, and then I list the previous knife for sale. And I know oftentimes I'm selling at a loss, but if I'm getting at least half of what I paid for that original knife back, then I consider it, I did okay. I consider the loss the price of a knife rental, yeah. The price of leasing that knife for however long I had it. That sounds good, right? I call it the price of learning what I really do like, narrowing that down furthermore. That's where what that money lost goes to. So that's why I have been quoted, somebody, and I quote to the best of what I remember, somebody said I go through knives like a college boy goes through girlfriends. And yeah, that's why there's such a turnover, is because I find something that does the job of what I have currently, but does it better, or exceeds my newer expectations that have been set from the last knife. So if that makes any sense? I hope so. Um, Collectors are a totally different animal. Collectors buy knives and they don't use them or carry them. I mean, sure, they all have their dedicated carry knives, but you have, $2,000 sharpened folding pry bars that have zero cutting ability, well, next to zero cutting ability, that are made to withstand the rigors of combat and beyond. And the only hard use they ever get is being taken out of the safe, taken pictures of, put on Instagram, and then put back in the safe, right? You know, I do not have the income, disposable or otherwise, to rationalize those kind of owning those kind of goods. If I own it, it gets used, it gets carried, it gets beaten on, and that's how it is. God bless the people that do collect knives, though. I mean, we wouldn't have the community if we didn't have collectors. It's just that I am not a collector, and I cannot mentally fathom that mentality. Nothing against them, just I don't understand it. So that's why you see me tagging "use your shit" in all my stuff. Um, I figure if I'm spending, say, the next purchase, the most recent purchase I made, which is why I'm getting rid of a bunch of these fixed blades, is I bought a Walter Brand early Model 2 grind bowie with wood scales and a guard, and that was $1,100 pretty much. And that will get used. I'm having a custom sheath made by Will at Up Armor that's going to be aligned, and I'm going to carry that bastard. It will be slicing beer cans in half out in the back there, because I cannot, fathom spending $1,100 on a knife without using it. So there it is, guys. As always, stay armed, stay alert, stay alive, and God bless. Later.